Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you, once again, another weekly anime review of Fairy Tail. Now, I quickly want to say my apologies on no videos yesterday because some family matters happened where I had to go to the hospital and be with a family member that needed surgery. I got out of the hospital like late last night, so yeah, I just want to say I'm very sorry for the delay on all the videos. I just quickly want to say it here. I mentioned it on Twitter, but I just want to say at least one of these videos I'm going to be making this morning, just to let you all kind of in the know, because I know not all of you Chibits actually, read Twitter, or what I post on Twitter, so maybe some of you will see this video and be like, okay, now I understand. So anyways, let's dive into this week's episode of Fairy Tail. So, Zera, it's finally official. Zera is an illusion, and I've had my speculation about this since the first time I saw, the first part of Fairy Tail Zero, because the way Zera's character was perceived, nobody really acknowledged her, and they made it way too fucking obvious there was something off with Zera. Like, they made it way too fucking obvious, because when you saw Yuri, when he popped up for the first time, and he was looking at, Zera, like, supposedly when she was there, and Mavis was introducing her, and the way he acted, it just... You obviously knew something was wrong. Anyone with a brain would figure out something was wrong there. Because why would Yuri act like that? And it's like, oh, it's nothing. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, an anime would not focus on something like that, or manga or whatever, would not do something like that if it didn't have some form of meaning. And so when you see that, you're like, okay, so something's definitely off with Zera. And I mean, we just saw that Mavis has the ability to use, like, illusions and shit. So... it's kind of like, okay, so maybe Mavis is, making it to where Zera is an illusion. Maybe that's what's going on, or something else. Maybe Mavis is crazy. But, I mean, the way it was done, constantly throughout the entirety of Fairy Tail Zero, nobody ever talked to Zera. The only person that ever talked to Zera was Mavis, really. The only person that really officially started a conversation was Mavis. And the only time anyone ever really talked about Zera, for instance, like Yuri and them, was when Mavis started talking about Zera. Like, oh, hey, Zera, how you doing? And then they just start talking. So, it was really weird how that, dialogue was done. It was reeking of suspicion, because I'm like, there's no way. Like, something is definitely off with Zera. Yuri's first, introduction to her, he's like this, and he's just all weirded out. And so, yeah, I mean, I felt like if they were really trying to hide something off with Zera, they shouldn't have done something like that. That just gave everything fucking away. It really did. So I'm not really surprised with the plot twist, but I am kind of shocked on the repercussions of what this really means, and what this means for Mavis's character, because now that it is confirmed that Mavis has been making an illusion of Zera the entire time, this makes us wonder what type of personality Mavis really has, because I've talked about this before. We've seen a darker side of Mavis in Fairy Tail Zero, a side I've never seen before. I mean, we've seen some things of it, like in the official Fairy Tail manga, but we've never seen it to, that extent, to where she was having people burn around her and shit, even though it was an illusion. It was very dark, or, seeing how she was showing this face to where she wanted to kill this person. It was something we never really seen before. And seeing this side of her, it allows us to dive more into her psyche of how she thinks and how she operates. And for her to kind of make a mental image, like an illusion of Zera, it shows you how far gone she is and how sad or broken she was after the death of everybody on the island. So this means that Mavis was by herself the entire time. She was by herself. No one was on that island but her. And eventually, because she was so lonely, probably, and, just broken, she made a false friend, Zera, to live with herself. And it's sad, because, I mean, if you think about the first episode of Fairy Tail Zero, we see little Mavis, she's getting bullied, Zera bullies her, and then the last thing that really happens is Zera, is picking on her and shit, and then she kind of just dies right there. So that was the last time the living Zera, the real Zera, was there. And it's kind of sad because Mavis never really got any, kindness from her at all. Never happened. Now, there is a possibility that Zera may be alive. That could be a possibility because, I mean, if we think about it, in the actual Fairy Tail series, Mavis is considered a spirit. And there is a possibility maybe at least certain people can see Zera. Maybe she's not really an illusion. Maybe it's to throw us off. Maybe Zera is really there. Who the fuck knows? But, I mean... that's the only thing that comes to my mind at this moment. But still, Mavis being kind of crazy to where she had to make a false image of Zera the entire time, it makes actually this entire Fairy Tail Zero worth reading or watching, depending on however you want to get into Fairy Tail Zero. And it's definitely something I'm glad I started, just to see more about Mavis and her, psyche, because it's getting very important in the later arcs of Fairy Tail right now, ongoing manga. So very good stuff. Now, besides that, however, this episode kind of concludes the overall main arc of Fairy Tail Zero. You have it to where Mavis clears out my Blue Skull out of the town. We have it to where Yuri declares, I want to make your dream come true. I want to be here to protect you. And then, so this is probably the start of the guild. If I had to make any type of guesses, I'm assuming the remaining episodes of Fairy Tail Zero is going to focus on making the guild house Fairy Tail, coming up with the name, probably making, the guild, setting it up in town and stuff. I'm willing to bet that's probably what the final parts of, Fairy Tail Zero is going to be about. And the main question is, what is next? Like, what are we diving into next? Are we going to get a filler arc? Are we going to get an adaptation of, like, those other spin-off series of Fairy Tail? Are we going to dive right into the next arc going on? I'm very curious of what's going to happen, because there's many arcs right now that they could animate, but there's also some side stories that, A1 could animate as well to save some time, for there could be a longer gap between the manga and the anime. But we're, left guessing. We don't really know at this moment. So, yeah, episode overall, it wins points with me just because of the Mavis and Zera thing, because that's really cool. But when it comes to the actual, trying to keep it hidden, that loses points, because it was just really obvious something was wrong with her since the very beginning. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.